Good morning and welcome back to Bald Father Bets. We have the glasses on so we can see these lines better. So we will give a quick recap of Friday where we had both NFL, Black Friday, we had both NFL and college football plays. Go into our plays for the massive slate here on college football Saturday. But first, please just double check, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, notifications on so you get our community posts. And then help support our channel, like, share, comment this video, steal people's phones, get them subscribed when they're not looking. Just whatever you guys can do to help grow our subscriber base and increase the support for the channel, we always greatly appreciate it. So yesterday, 12-13 on Black Friday, 0-5 in the NFL as we were laying it with the Chiefs. We were looking good there until the Raiders returned that kick return. Amir Abdullah brought that thing back to the 30-yard line. That touchdown necessarily I don't think was the dagger. I told you guys they had to keep the Raiders to 10 points or under. The next touchdown was the dagger once the Raiders got to 17. Chiefs were not going to score 30 points in that game. Chiefs have difficulty scoring 30 points in any game, much less against teams where they cannot block the edge rushers. And the Chiefs are very weak at the tackle position, as you guys saw, and they were not able to block Crosby off the edge. And so that one was a loss. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Then in college, we were 12-8. The big difference there between 14-6 and 12-8 was our halftime play on Georgia Tech. We had it. Haynes King had the first down there. It was about to be 2-minute warning. They would have needed one more first down and win the game 27-20. Would have covered both the full-time and the halftime play, but he fumbled the ball. Definitely some home cooking by the refs too. I don't know if you guys have seen the holding that wasn't called on the play before Georgia's touchdown to tie the game. But it's unfortunate. But oh my gosh, what a game! 8 overtimes. That Haynes King kid, man, he doesn't look like much, but that dude is all grit. He's all heart. I hope they grant him another year of eligibility and he's able to come back. Because what Georgia Tech showed last night was pretty awesome. They're on the up and up under Brent Key. Kirby said it after the game. Georgia Tech kicked their ass all up and down the field all night long. And then when you do not have the superior athlete, you're down in the secondary to even push that thing into 8 overtimes once it got into overtime is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. So lots of fun. 12-13. So I wouldn't say we necessarily broke our losing streak because that's still a losing day, but it was a better day yesterday than it had been Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night up until Friday. So we are on to college football Saturday. We got a 3-piece nugget in the morning, a 4-piece nugget in the afternoon, and then possibly a 2-piece nugget in the evening. Right now it's 1. We may add 1. We'll see what happens here. Morning, we're going to start this one off with the game. We already had 5 units on Ohio State at -20. We are adding another 5 units on Ohio State at -19.5. I know people like a big dog on rivalry week. I get that. Usually that dog has more motivation. Not in this game. Ohio State has more motivation in this game. This is a statement game for Ohio State. They smell blood in the water here, and they want to exploit it. I think the real question here is whether or not Michigan scores a touchdown. I don't think they do. So I think Ohio State wins this game. My model has 38-6. I've seen 45-6. I could see that one, especially if Ohio State gets a defensive touchdown. I could see 31-6. But I don't think Michigan scores a touchdown. So that is the differentiator there and why we're on Ohio State for a total of 10 units. We got 5 in at -20 and another 5 at -19.5. Also in the morning, we're taking Clemson. We're laying the 2.5 for 5 units against South Carolina. South Carolina is very good. You guys know I've been really complimentary. We've been on them a lot this year. Clemson has played terrible in the 2 decent competition that they've had to play in. I just think in this game you're going to get a good Clemson. I think you're going to get good line of scrimmage play on the defensive side from Clemson. I think it's the Lenora Sellers' first big rivalry game going into Death Valley, and I think you're going to get a motivated Clemson team here, and I think they'll get the victory. So we're going to lay the 2.5 with Clemson, 5 units. Also in the morning, we are laying the 10 with Tennessee for 5 units. I know Vandy's a good story. I know they're 7-1. ATS is a dog. I think they're going to have an issue against this Tennessee defense. Tennessee defense is very, very good. Even in the Georgia game, man, they weren't bad. We were on Georgia, but they weren't bad. I think Vandy's going to struggle to move the ball here. I know they're going to shorten the game. I know Pavia is going to do his little read option thing, get 3 yards, 4 yards here, 5 yards here, 6 yards here, 2 yards here, 3 yards here. I know. I just think Tennessee's going to have enough plays where they blow things up in the backfield. They're going to put Vanderbilt in off conditions, and then Vanderbilt will have a difficult time scoring. Nico has been terrible against everyone since like the first 4 games of the year when he was playing against subpar competition. I don't think it really matters here because I think Tennessee can hand the ball off, and they can win the game having 30, 35, maybe even 40 rushing attempts. So that's where I think Tennessee goes with this one. So that's it for the morning plays. Moving into the afternoon, I'll start with our big one. We are on USC plus the 7.5. I've taken it from 10 units now to 15 units. We don't bet money lines here at Bald Feather Bets. I think USC will win this game outright. And if not, it'll be a 1-score game in the fourth quarter. And I think they will get a cover. Notre Dame hasn't seen a passing attack like they're going to see from USC. No one has really actually tested that secondary that Notre Dame has. That is where they're weak. That is Notre Dame's biggest weakness is their secondary. They're very strong on the defensive line, but they just haven't played anyone that tests the secondary. I think you will see USC test the secondary, like what I've seen out of USC's defense under D'Anton Lynn so far this year. Very difficult travel spot for Notre Dame. Last week, they were in the Bronx at Yankee Stadium in New York. Then they fly back to South Bend, Indiana, and then they fly all the way across country to Los Angeles for this one. Difficult spot for Notre Dame to be in. If this thing turns into a shootout, don't really think that's what Notre Dame is built for. And I think you're going to see some points from USC. So this is my favorite player of the week it's my favorite play of the day. We got Lamar Jackson tomorrow as less than a 3-point favorite against an NFC team. So I don't know if it's my favorite play of the week, but it's my favorite play of the day. So yeah, we like USC here. Like I said, we don't bet money lines at Bald Feather Bets, but I think USC will win it outright. And if you do bet money lines, it's a pretty good price. Also in the afternoon, we're on Arizona plus the 8.5 against Arizona State, doing that one for 3 units. Just too many points. Those teams hate each other. This game is wild every year. It's down in Tucson. I think Arizona State will come away with a last-second close score victory. That's how they've won most of their games this year. But people forget, Arizona was one of the teams that was picked to win the conference coming into the year. They haven't been good, but they still can score. They still have that QB wide receiver duo that's solid, at least. And I just, Arizona State isn't a put teams away type team. They're good. They're a good story. What Dillingham's done has been great, but it's not a lights out situation, I guess is what I would say. So yeah, Iron Bowl. Weird injury news with this one. Really weird injury news. I don't love it. I want to say this up front. And the system goes against my pick. I am taking Auburn plus the 11. We're doing it for 3 units. I do not love it. I don't think Auburn's 100% healthy coming into this one. I think they have some quiet injuries, whereas Alabama's injured too, but it's everything that you know about. There's a few things that are working in this one. System likes Alabama for this. I want to say that. My model has Alabama by about 12.5. I think models still are overvaluing Alabama. They're just not that good. They're just simply not that good. The Ryan Williams to Ohio State stuff is very real. Him and Jeremiah Smith have been messaging all week. Ohio State is prepared to put together a 7-figure NIL package for him. My understanding is he is not necessarily happy at Alabama, even though he's from here. If you guys remember, he decommitted and then recommitted. So I don't think he's 100% in it. If his mind is starting to go somewhere else, they truly have zero options on offense. They have nothing. They have nothing other than 4. And 4 isn't that good when he doesn't have anyone to throw to. Auburn, I think, yes, this is where I start to have issues. You watch the second half of that Texas A&M game. Marcel Reed tore them apart as an option quarterback. Auburn, I think, can contain an option quarterback, but sometimes they get undisciplined. That's any Hugh Freeze team is going to be undisciplined from time to time. And then that's where you could have the thing where, all right, well, Milroe just ran for another 70-yard touchdown and this thing's over. It's why I'm not super confident in it, but I just don't think Alabama's that good. And I think models overvalue Alabama, which is why sharps are on them, because their model all says, hey, they should beat this Auburn team by a bunch. But if it was not for turnovers, Auburn and Alabama would be about the same team this year. You could make an argument Auburn would actually be a little bit better. And they haven't won in Bryant-Denny since 2010. And I think they see finally for the first time since 2010 an actual opportunity to win in Bryant-Denny Stadium. So we're going to take Auburn. We're going to take them plus the 11. God, if Alabama loses this game and Ryan Williams transfers to Ohio State, I mean, I can't even imagine what the Alabama faithful are going to say. The thing that sucks is you're gonna have donors and you're gonna have boosters start pulling money, and that's the worst thing that could happen, because then if they start to go dry on the money, I mean, I feel bad for DeBoer, because then he never had a chance. And the whole thing's gonna start to fall apart. But anyway, Auburn plus 11, 3 units. That was 3 afternoon games. I have one more. Oh, Miami-Syracuse. Check back for Community Post. Neither of these teams have a pass defense. Kyle McCord is top 5 in yards this year. Cam Ward, though, is on another level. Line is continuing to go up and up and up. If it gets to a certain point, you have to take Syracuse. At the current point it's at, we have a slight lead Miami. But we got to continue to monitor on this one, which is why I want you to check back for Community Post later. So we'll get you that one as the day goes on. Then we move into the evening. We're on Kansas State. We're taking them. I'm pissed I didn't get it at plus 3. I saw it and I was like, we'll wait, and should not have waited. We're on Kansas State. We're on them plus the 2.5. So mad we didn't get plus 3, but whatever. If we had plus 3, it'd be a stronger unit play. Because we only have 2.5, it's only 3 units. This Big 12 race isn't going to finish with both Arizona State and Iowa State winning and they play each other. It's just not. Chaos is going to happen. This is a weird game. Kansas State and Iowa State, it's weird every year. Last year they played in a blizzard. Kansas State was like a 14-point favorite, and Iowa State blew them out. Like, it was everything about this game is weird. Kansas State's still a very good team. Kansas State still has Avery Johnson. It is a night game up in Ames, which is, those things are weird. Iowa State's very difficult to beat night games in Ames late in the year when it gets cold. But Kansas State's a cold weather team too. Kansas isn't warm by any means. We like Kansas State here. We like them plus the 2.5. Unfortunately, we didn't get 3, or it would be more units, but at 2.5, it's a 3-unit play. The other one that we're looking at that check back Community Post on is OU LSU. Line's at 6. I don't think it'll get to 7, but sharps seem to be all over LSU here. And the OU, Jackson Arnold isn't necessarily a mobile quarterback, but he's not mobile either. So that's where we need to see the line movement in that one too. So check back for your Community Post. Now, as promised, we do not have a pick here at Bald Feather Bets for Texas A&M, because I am too big of a Texas fan to unbiasedly pick this game. I can pick against Texas in almost any other game. I will not do it here. I don't know if you're watching College Game Day this morning, but you can see what a shithole College Station is and what terrible people they are. So this is what I would tell you if you want to play this game. The Quinn News injury stuff is real. It's very real. So if you want A&M, take them now, because 5.5 is the highest you're going to get it. And if Quinn plays at 70 to 75%, I like A&M plus the 5.5. Because if he's not mobile and he's a sitting duck back there against A&M's defensive line, that's the biggest strength of A&M's team is their defensive line. They'll cover the 5.5. They probably will get the win outright. If you want Texas, and this is where I think Texas will cover a number. If Quinn doesn't play, Arch is a very mobile quarterback. It's the one thing I think people don't know. If they haven't watched Texas, they don't really know it about Arch. He's an option style quarterback with just a rocket of an arm. Not near as good as Quinn in the precision passing, short game, all that stuff, but downfield passing and then mobile, he's better. The number will come down because he's a backup quarterback, but A&M has gotten killed by option style quarterbacks this year. Riley Leonard got him, and then Lenora Sellers tore him apart. You guys remember that? We were all over South Carolina. I think Texas will cover and win if Arch plays the whole game, and he's 100%. I think A&M will cover and potentially win if Quinn plays at 75%. Sarkisian has this weird thing, man, where he feels bad about pulling starters and seniors and all that stuff. Quinn's wanted to play in this game since he was a little kid. So he's not, unless Quinn really can't go, he's not going to do it. If you do get an injured Quinn, and they ultimately have to switch to Arch in the game because he just doesn't have it, your best play here may be A&M pregame, Texas halftime, or live bet once they put Arch in. But just be watching out for that. That's the way I would lean either way on this. Like I said, I can't give an official pick on it because I'm too biased to do so. You guys know I'm a Lions fan. We bet against the Lions the past 2 weeks. I have no problem doing it. I'm a Texas fan. We can bet against Texas. I have no problem doing it. I don't think we've done it this year, but I've done it before in the past several times. I just can't do it. I cannot do it in this one. Yeah, there is nothing more than I hate than Texas A&M, so I won't do it. Which means then I can't pick for Texas because obviously it's biased in that way too. But have a great college football Saturday. I hope whoever your rivalry team is that they prevail for you, unless they're against one of the teams that we picked for. Sorry, Scott. Go Auburn. And Hook 'em.